Configa, yeah. Brilliant. So welcome to Probe the Act on Deepstuff TV with my main man right here, Configa.
What's up? What's up?
He's worked with a lot of artists, nice producer, singer, songwriter. How you doing, boss?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. So
Wicked.
Yeah, tell us real quickly, how did you get started in music?
Wow, good question. Started writing lyrics when I was like 16. I've been just to go back even before that. I got into hip hop when I was like in '88 when I heard De La Soul and Jungle Brothers, and yeah, got into hip hop around '88. Loved it ever since then. Caught the bug. Started writing rhymes around '96 in the mid '90s because I'm old. And yeah, I was in the proper golden era, you know, in the golden era. And yeah, started producing a year after that and released a few albums as a rapper to moderate success. And then yeah, became a producer around about full-time producer around about 2003. Changed my name and went from there. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I had to listen to some of the ones that you did with this Arrested Development.
Oh yes, my boys, my boy speech, legend, man. Love that guy.
Maximum respect to you, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Yeah. So have you ever been in a band, bro?
Have I been
in a band?
Oh, in a band. I've been in a few crews. I started off in 2004 in a crew called Slept On Farm, and we got decent success. We won a few awards in Florida. One of which was presented by legendary boxer Roy Jones Jr. when he was like at his prime. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Wow. And since then, that folded. I was just doing my own thing, and then now I've got my boys who are on my record label, Configuration Records. We go by the name AOR, which stands for Apostles of Rhyme. And there's me, Mike Audio, D.A. Donny Boy, they're both from Detroit, and Fro Magnum Man, who was also on Arrested Development's album. We got him on there for a verse, so he was on the last album. Great MC and talented dudes. Yeah.
Wow, I love your work, man. That album.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
Fire, man. It's fire. Love it. So
appreciate it, man. I like the enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's so lit, man. So what are most of your songs about? I mean, what do you write when you write a song? What do you write about?
Well, you know, I don't really spit bars so much these days. I mean, I've got a few. Ironically, I'm doing more these days than I used to. I just didn't rhyme at all for ages, for years. But yeah, I've been persuaded by the guys to like write some hooks and, you know, drop a few things. But with me, it would tend to be, and the music I produce would tend to be more of the conscious element of hip hop rather than the crazy I'll shoot you in the face element. But yeah, I do tend to veer towards, like with Jahi who I work with from Public Enemy or Enemy Radio. Yeah, conscious dudes who can also spit crazy bars if they need to, but there needs to be an element of substance. It can't just be all negative, you know, I'll sell drugs and this, that, and the other. Nah, I'm not, that'll bore me. It needs to be some substance. Yeah.
I mean, I know that, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know that you're into production now, big time.
That's right.
So when you're producing music, so for instance, somebody comes to you and say, right, I'd like to write this song with you. Do you go with the flow of the artist, or do you say, right, okay, this is my style, this is what I do, this is how I want to do it, or how what's that process?
Good question. Sometimes I've had artists who come to me from, you know, for example, I worked recently with the Realist and the Outlaws, you know, Tupac, the Outlaws. I work with those guys who come from obviously a very gangster-esque ethos. But I got those guys to write about what was going on with the whole situation, the BLM matter, the movement, and in all of that situation in America. And yeah, sort of coaxed out of them a more meaningful, sort of empowering sort of way to rap, as opposed to going down a more just straight like gangster route. Yeah. So we talked about George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, all that kind of thing within a kind of So yeah, I coaxed that out of them. So
Yeah.
that's an example of it, where they would traditionally go down a more hardcore path.
Yeah.
So it was it was a protest song rather than a gangster song.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's an example. That's a good example of it.
Yeah, like you said previously, meaningful. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do some hardcore music. I mean, I will produce some bangers which are a bit ignorant, but generally I like to put as much substantial, good, uplifting music out there as I can.
Yeah.
As I can, yeah. Without being too preachy. I don't want to be all that, but yeah, as much as that as I can. Yeah.
So if somebody comes to you with a killer hook, right? This hook is killing it, but it's meaningless. Right. So I went up the stairs and I came down the stairs and I went up the stairs again, and then then you think, well, this doesn't make sense. You look at the rap, you look at the lyrics, the hook is banging, you look at the lyrics and it's just disappointing. What do? Turn them away or say, well, you know what? This is commercial.
I would struggle to work with those people. and even if money was right, even if money was good, because I would then be worried about what my people are going to think about that. Because people expect Configa, my brand, to put out a decent level of music. So if I put out some crazy trap guy rapping reckless and they'll be like, what's going on? Like, why are you working with this dude? This dude doesn't fit your ethos, what you've done historically. I've always worked with great lyricists.
Yeah.
And even I consider the more gangster elements that I've worked with are still great lyricists. Like Seabo I worked with. Seabo is a great rapper, great MC, and even though he's a gangster rapper. But yeah, I like to work with people who can put good bars together, man. And if someone's just reckless and literally singing through auto-tune, I'm like, bro, it's not gonna work. Like, no matter what you pay me, it's going to look bad on me because my people won't like it. Yeah, yeah. It's as simple as that.
It's about integrity, isn't it?
Integrity, brother. Yes, exactly. And I have to maintain that. There has to be a certain level of integrity. Of course, we can be more fun. We can talk about things in the club, but generally, even within that, there's an underlying message.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It can't just be some crazy, wild, monosyllabic, just bad, trashy track where this is nothing. Yeah, no. I mean, couldn't do that.
Integrity is a lot.
It's everything. It's all we've got, right?
Yeah, it's So, the question that I was going to ask is, have you ever worked with an artist that is doing covers? So it's come to you and it says, right, I know it's Tupac, but I want to do a cover of it. What would you say?
I would say no. I would say no way, because I love Tupac. People who know me know that I'm a Tupac stan. I know everything that, even back in the day, all the unreleased stuff, and I've even done Tupac remixes and put them out there, which people have loved. Because just to quickly mention about Tupac remixes, there was some horrible remixes put out there by his estate, where they got all these pop guys on there, on just sounded really bad and disjointed. Even Eminem was producing. I love M, but as a producer, he ate all that, and he was speeding up to. What you should do as a remix guy, work your beat around the vocals. Don't work the vocals around your beat and make someone sound like a chipmunk. So anyway, I reimagined all that. I made Tupac, stripped all back, made it boom bap, made Tupac sound, his voice resonate. So yes, I did all that. So if anyone wanted to do a Tupac cover, I'd be like, no, you can't beat the original. You can't improve on perfection to me. And that guy, he may not be everyone's best lyricist, but that guy spoke from the heart, man, from the gut. And not many people can replicate that. So if someone's going to do a very disjointed version of a great Tupac song, no, man, they get no love from me, not whatsoever.
Bro, I can feel the passion, man.
It literally, I can feel my blood starting to boil slowly because there's lots of people out there who have done this.
Yeah.
Like, big ups to Ross and stuff, but there's Tupac is back. Tupac, bro, no, he's not, because your lyrics are trash. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. So I know generally in the industry, and I speak with great caution, but generally in the industry, you have rap artists, and they'd listen to a beat and they would say, yeah, I can speak to that. Have you ever had an artist that is the other way around? So they brought these lyrics and they've said, you know what? I want you to create a beat to that. Would that work for you as a producer?
Yeah. I mean, I like to think I'm a versatile type of guy. I used to be more, I used to be sort of very tied into what I would and wouldn't do within a certain box. But now, if someone came with some really good ideas and they wanted to do music that pushes my boundaries but still sounds good, yeah, I'm open to moving and doing other things and open up my boundaries. Absolutely. I mean, I've even been known to do a few more sort of contemporary based tracks, which is kind of like a novel thing for me. But if it sounds soulful and the messages and the lyrics are good, I'm open to that, man. I'm open to that.
Yeah, yeah. So this is the point where you tell us about your social media presence. So YouTube, Twitter, go for it, bro.
Okay, bro. Hit me up everywhere at Configa, CONFIGI. That's it, straight off. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm there, man. Just trying to represent, trying to do my thing.
Yeah, that's
yes, bro.
Isn't it? It's like Configa. You can't get it wrong. You know, just go for that.
That's it. It's as simple as that, man. It's like I don't have all these different names and different platforms. It's just that's it. My one name, branded. That's it, yeah. Hit me up.
Yeah, if you find that name anywhere else, that's me. It's still me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, big up all the Rick Ross hating. I was just saying that you can't improve on perfection, which is what Tupac does. That's all I'm saying.
It did, bro. It did. So, how would you describe your greatest fear going into the future? I mean, I know that you've seen, coming from where you've come from, so you've seen things morphed into things, like you've seen cassettes morphed into you've seen
cassette into CD into streaming, and then now we're going back to vinyl almost, because a lot of people going back to vinyl. It's mental, bro. Yeah.
So what would be your greatest fear going into the future? I mean, you've already seen what the future's like.
Wow. Okay. The first one would be that music just stops having any substance whatsoever, because our OGs who I work with, Chuck, Arrested Development, even I would love to work with KRS, but even them, those type of guys, they're not getting any younger. And they need to be replaced by younger dudes who are still, and there's a few of them, but not enough, rhyming about political consciousness. And I would hate for it to be like a period where those guys ultimately just, fade away, unfortunately, and it's replaced by nothing. And all we've literally got is people rapping about how many cars they've got, how many bricks they've sold, how many women they slept with. Like, that would be a huge fear of mine. And also another fear of mine would be that all we have is trap, and we're left with trap and no kind of boom bap elements where it's like a real traditional hip hop element. And also another fear of mine, going on to that, another fear of mine would be that the elements of hip hop would even further die, that there'll be no b-boying, no DJing, because you don't really hear scratching much on music these days, right? You don't hear like a DJ cutting up. So all of that would just die. And all we'd be left with is this just one homogenized, corporate-induced form of music where there's no elders, there's no consciousness, and there's just no hip-hop. Because hip-hop, the culture, like KRS says, rap something you do, hip-hop something you live. It would just be straight rap.
Yeah.
And what they want us to rap about, that would be my biggest fear.
Oh, wow. Do you know,
man.
I've had anyone preaching that way. I wouldn't say
I'm on one today, bro. I'm on one.
That's preaching, man. I've never heard anyone
Thank you, bro.
that way. Oh, big up, man. Big up. So this is the concluding bit where you get to give shout out to anybody at all. Go for it, boss.
Shout out to yourself, bro, for having me on. Big up to Manchester, big up to Nigeria. Yes, man. Big ups back home, big ups to Newcastle and Gateside, where I'm from. Big ups to Man Speech, Arrested Development, all the crew, big ups to my guys, AOR, Donny, Fro, like Big ups Laidlaw Media, my people who work with me on the PR side of things. Yeah, big ups Configuration Records. Yeah, and just big up your platform and your thing. Because I know that I've seen that you guys have been playing on music hard, man. The radio station that you represent, they keep tweeting at me and like saying that now playing Configa. I'm like, okay, these guys are playing me like a few times an hour. I'm like, this is dope. So big up your radio station, right?
Oh, bless up, man. Bless. So I've been dRem TGI, and we've had a lovely guest on our show.
Thanks, man.
He's one of the patriots of hip hop and rap from
That's
all
a
the
blessing.
way
Thank you very
back.
much.
Configa. Have a lovely week now.
You too, brother. Have a great Christmas, okay?
All right, thank you, boss.